Hello and welcome. As you can see in today's tutorial, we're building something super cool, a modern clock using just CSS and JavaScript. As you can see some of the features, it will have lifetime updates, it will have custom styling with CSS, and it will have smooth animations. We'll be diving into CSS to style our clock and use JavaScript to make it tick in real time. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced developer, you can bet this project will level up your front-end skills. So let's dive in. So how does this work? So basically, we just create a container, which is like the main wrapper for the page. Then we have a clock face, which is like where the main action goes in. Okay, so you have your container, then you have your clock face, which will be somewhere around this, holding the main application. Then we have labels. Basically, this is not semantic enough. You can use span, you can use this. Doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so these labels are what carry, or let's say they mark up the numbers on the clock. Okay, then we have styles. Basically, these styles are like placeholders. So you just hold variables that would point to the value which will be used to rotate the numbers. Okay. Then you have your clock hand. So the clock hand basically it's the second hand. You have your this should be your hour hand. Then you have your minute hand. So that's how that works. Okay. So basically this is the HTML for it. Then you should link up your CSS and link up both your CSS and your scripts. Okay, then back to the styling sheet. Okay, then these are just we know this basic stuff. Okay, we just do some basic housekeeping stuff here. Margin, padding 0, box sizing, blah blah. Okay, your font family. Then body, display flex, align item center, justify center. We're centering everything. Then this background and contain image. This background size contain and background image um, refers to this the background image. Basically, you can use any background image, but I got this online. Okay, you can look it up. You can just Google background patterns, or glass morphism patterns. You'll get something like that. Okay, so it's links. Hopefully, if you're following tutorial, you should know how to link. Should know how to link background images. Okay, in the clock container, display flex, silent item gap, blah blah. Then your clock face, you have your position relative, display flex items. We're all centering here. We give the clock an explicit height and width of pixels, and a tiny border radius, then give it a background which is like almost black as you can see here. Then we have those shadows to just give it some depth. Okay. Then we have our border 13 pixel, then opacity of 0.8. So to make the color of the black background bleed through the application a little to just give it this modern feeling. Okay, then the clock face label, position absolutes. So label, I think we have about 12 labels, right? So yeah. So this is the general styling for all the numbers. Okay, they should be absolutely positioned with an inside of 20 pixels, and we're gonna rotate them by their eye. Okay, we're gonna rotate them by this variable here, the eye. So if you look closely here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 to 12. Okay. Yeah. So flow this through. So what you will see is that for the label span, that I programmatically will for the number. If it's 1 here, we multiply it by 360 divided by 12. 360 makes a full circle, and 360 divided by 12, I think that should be maybe 30 or something. So we rotate for every number, we rotate 30 degrees, 30 degrees. You get the idea. That will make it go round into 12 places, okay, and all evenly spaced. So that's that. Then for the clock hands, again, this should be some position absolutes. Then before for the hands, before absolute 100. So this one, the height, width. When you give it a small height, you give it a width, okay. Basically, we are creating the hands. We create the hand. When you see the height is long, like 130 pixels, that's the height of it, and the width a little 4 pixels. So we just run that like that. Then, so the JavaScript, as you can see, the JavaScript is just straight to the point. Okay, first of all, we just make our selections here. We select our body, select our hour hand, select our minute hand, select our second hand, select our mood switch. Okay. Um, I don't think we need this though. I don't think we need this because we're not toggling here. And I think our hour hand, minute hand, and second hand are enough. Okay, so for the selections, first of all, what we want to do is simple. We want to run a function that will update the time. And if you look at your clock, you know your clock updates every second. Yeah, so this updates every second. So what are we doing? We are accessing the date objects, and we're leveraging on what is stored in this variable to access to access some more methods, some more date methods. Okay, so we get seconds here, we get minutes to degree, we get hours to degree. Now for the hours to degree here, we get our hours, which is all fine and good. Then we also get minutes too, because what we're doing is we're trying to determine the angle from the time. We're trying to determine the angle from the time. Okay, so what is going on in this hours to degree is that we're getting the hours. Okay, then we are now getting the hours, the current hour, the minutes, the current minutes, um, the current minutes converted to hour. Let's say it's 3:15. Okay, if we get the hour, we will get 3. But that's 15 minutes. It's still part of the hours. Okay, so we'll convert that 15 minutes to like an hour, which will be 15 over 60. You get the idea. So that would be like 3.25 hours. Okay, so we're getting not just we're not rounding down the hours. Okay, we're getting like the absolute hours, which will determine it just makes it much more precise. Okay, it makes it much more precise. Okay, guys, please leave this mode switch here. Just leave it. Okay. Then after getting the second to degree, minutes to degrees, and hours to degrees, what we have to do is to use our selections here and put a transform, then rotate it. As it's updating every second, it's going to be moving gradually till we get our time. So that is how this thing works. Okay. So yeah, catch you in the next tutorial. Okay. See you later.